The old cabin beside Silver Pine Lake in northern Montana had become the only place where Caleb Walker could still breathe without feeling the weight of the past crushing him. Every morning before sunrise, he carried firewood across the damp grass while his 8-year-old son, Noah, slept peacefully inside, unaware of how close they had come to losing everything just a year before. Caleb had traded a successful construction career for a quiet life after losing his wife to illness, believing that the silence of the lake could heal wounds that no words ever could. But one unexpected knock at the cabin door would bring danger, painful memories, and a life-changing decision that none of them saw coming. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories that remind us hope is never truly lost. The woman standing outside the cabin was Abigail Carter, the quiet neighbor who had recently rented the small lakeside cottage across the narrow dirt road. She looked exhausted, her blue jacket soaked from the cold rain, and her eyes carried the unmistakable look of someone who had spent too many nights afraid to sleep. Caleb had only exchanged polite greetings with her before, but that afternoon she looked different, as though she had reached the end of her strength. Without asking questions, Caleb invited her inside where Noah offered her a warm blanket and a cup of hot chocolate with the innocent kindness only children possess. For the first time in weeks, Abigail managed a small smile. Over the following days, a gentle friendship slowly formed. Caleb repaired a broken fence around Abigail's cottage while Noah insisted on showing her the tiny wooden birdhouses he had built with his father. The peaceful lake, surrounded by towering pine trees and crystal-clear water reflecting the blue Montana sky, seemed to soften the heavy burdens both adults carried. Abigail slowly admitted she had escaped a controlling relationship after years of emotional manipulation, hoping the isolated lakeside community would give her the fresh start she desperately needed. Caleb understood pain without needing every detail because grief had taught him that broken hearts often recognized each other without words. Everything changed one chilly afternoon when a black pickup truck rolled slowly onto the narrow gravel road leading toward the cabins. A man named Travis Mercer stepped out, his face filled with anger instead of concern. He had spent weeks searching for Abigail and believed she belonged with him despite everything she had endured. Seeing Abigail standing beside Caleb and Noah ignited a storm of jealousy that threatened to destroy the peaceful life they had carefully begun rebuilding. Caleb immediately sensed the danger, not because Travis shouted, but because true fear often arrived wearing the mask of calm determination. Instead of responding with violence, Caleb chose courage. He quietly moved Noah inside the cabin while several nearby neighbors, noticing the growing tension, gathered outside. Their presence reminded everyone that a united community could stand stronger than fear. Abigail finally found the strength she had been missing for years. Surrounded by people who genuinely cared about her safety, she refused to return to the life she had escaped. Travis realized he could no longer isolate or control her because she was no longer facing him alone. Defeated by the truth and by the unwavering support surrounding her, he eventually drove away, leaving behind only the fading sound of his truck disappearing into the forest. The days that followed brought healing instead of fear. Abigail chose to remain at the lake, helping Caleb renovate abandoned cabins for visiting families while Noah slowly began laughing the way children should. Their friendship grew naturally through shared work, quiet evenings watching the sunset reflect across the water, and countless moments proving that trust is built one act of kindness at a time. No dramatic promises were needed because the strongest relationships are often formed through ordinary days filled with honesty, patience, and compassion. Caleb finally realized that protecting someone did not always require fighting, sometimes it meant simply standing beside them until they found the courage to stand on their own. Abigail discovered that her painful past did not define her future. Noah learned that even after tremendous loss, families can grow in unexpected ways when people choose love over fear. The peaceful cabin that had once been nothing more than a hiding place slowly transformed into a true home filled with hope, laughter, and the comforting belief that tomorrow could always be brighter than yesterday. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness can change someone's life, please support this video by liking it, sharing it with others, subscribing to the channel, and telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps these stories reach more people who may need hope today. Special request: before this story ends, please leave a comment below and tell us, do you believe one act of kindness can completely change a person's future? As another peaceful evening settled over Silver Pine Lake, Caleb watched Noah skip stones across the calm water while Abigail smiled beside them, no longer haunted by the shadows of yesterday. The lake reflected the fading colors of the American sky, proving that even after the darkest storms, calm waters eventually return. Sometimes life doesn't give us the family we expect, but it quietly places the right people beside us exactly when we need them most. And in that simple lakeside cabin, 3 wounded hearts discovered that the greatest second chance isn't found in running away from the past, it's found in finding the courage to believe that love, kindness, and hope are always waiting just beyond the next sunrise.